We are live. Wait for some people to get in.
What's going on, everybody?
What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
We got Djay Tiger and Stu Dog in the house, and a very, very, very special guest today, Gem Mint from Gem Mint Collectibles.
Yes, indeed.
What's good, homie?
Man, chilling. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, man. It's a treat to have you on, man. You're a real inspiration, man. Yeah, for real. When Stu put me on to you, and I've been a fan ever since, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I saw your background. I was like, okay, this man's a comic kid for sure.
Yeah.
Same for me. Word. That's what I seen. I seen your background, and I'm like, yo, dude these are omnibuses. He got hundreds of these things, man. Like that's nothing to sneeze at, man.
I switched over to the omnibus because I didn't like long boxes. I always felt like they were too like heavy to move around. I always dug the short boxes. And I had like a big shelf, like a bookcase full of just the white short boxes. And when I found out about omnibus, I was like, man, you get the whole run in one book, or sometimes a couple of volumes, and it looks good on the shelves too. It's not just like a white box. So that's really what turned me on to them.
Yeah, man.
So you're referring to like the volumes, like instead of like
no, 20... he means like you see that box that's on the floor right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long box. Short box.
And I'm referring to these books. So this is like all of the like 2010 Carnage little mini series that came out. So all collected in one volume.
In one book, yeah.
So instead of having the individual comics, I have them in like these hardcover books,
Yes. Yeah. I started doing that too. Soft cover and hardcover.
Yeah.
Just, read the whole story, as soon as you get it. So I have to wait. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I was always big on like putting runs together or trying to get the tie-ins and everything. And it's kind of hard, especially when you go older stories, and stuff can get expensive. So that format of just collecting it all was like, whoa, that was cool for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to be able to read everything,
Right.
Especially if you're not in digital, which I'm definitely not. I definitely prefer physical comics. But yeah, man, it's like having 5 graphic novels in one. That's the omnibus.
Like I'll do the digital. Yeah, I'll do the digital because like I'll do stuff like once I tag them and slab them, like I just tagged it, I tag and slab.
You're not gonna open.
Can't read it. Right. I'm never gonna open. So I'll read the digital copy and I'll send this off to get slabbed and tagged, things of that nature, and then doesn't keep down on the clutter.
Yeah, it's definitely pluses for digital. It's definitely a time for digital. I do.
The thing about me is I've always been like a collector first, and then I just got into reading it just because I wanted to know more about them. So for me, the digital, first of all, I'm on my phone too much as it is. If I'm not looking at my phone, it's my laptop or TV. So I need a break from the screen. So that's why I like to read paper. It's easier on the eyes for me. And then they're collectible too. They retain value, sometimes appreciate. So that's why I always really stuck with the physical medium.
Yeah,
because you're paying the same amount for a digital amount. You're paying the same amount,
which I never understood that. I never understood
they won on digital comics, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never understood that, man. Yeah,
been like
I never got that. Yeah, they should be. I'm with you, really. They should be like half price or $1. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
You sell a million copies, you got $1 million. Yeah,
I used to collect digital too, and like having the computer to read it. But on my phone to try to read it digital, I was like, nah, like I said, I love opening the book and just sit in the bed, chill, you know what I mean? Get a drink and just sit back and like read the book physical,
Yeah,
definitely.
Heck, I was so bad at one point, Tiger. I was, remember the Sony PSP? I was reading them on. I was reading them on there. Like I had them. I had them on PSP. I was reading them on there. They had like a little comic book app that you could put on there.
Old man glasses at 30 years old using that PSP.
What, man?
Tiny screen, man.
Wow.
Hey, man, listen. My eyes are still good, man. They still good. Not yet. Couple more years.
We not old yet. We old heads, but we not old yet.
Yeah.
So Gem Mint, what's the first comic book that you ever read that really sparked your, like, oh, I'm into this now, like I want to collect these? Or like you said, you were a collector first, so was it covers that got you into it, or was it a story?
It was trading cards that got me into it. So like you said, we're in that generation. I was collecting trading cards in the 90s. And it was something like I seen the regular Marvel Universe cards. Okay, that's pretty cool. I know who Spider-Man is, but when those 92 Marvel Masterpieces came out, the painted Joe Justo set, that's what, like, it spoke to me, man. And what was dope about those cards is on the back, it'll show you their first appearance or their first cover appearance. So my OCD started kicking in. I was already an OCD collector with like He-Man figures, Ninja Turtle figures, and things like that. So I was like, man, I got to get the comic book where this guy is in. But then when I went to the shop, I was like, oh, okay, that's very expensive, or they don't necessarily have the first appearance.
Right.
So that's when I found out about trade paperbacks. And the two that I remember buying and reading, I don't remember which one I read first, but it was either Death of Superman and Maximum Carnage. Those two series, I loved them. I think that was a great time to get into comics. It was like fresh, new. It was like exciting. And from there, I started going to the local comic shop. And then what really caught my eye was Spawn. The Spawn covers always were like the brightest, the best covers on the shelf.
They were dope,
and then like the Spawn movie came out, and there was mad video games and stuff around that time. So it was just, I was in the world at that point.
Word. Yeah. And how old were you then? Because that's crazy. Like, I don't know, I must have been 13 around Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in '84, so I guess
okay,
I'm
I
born in '79,
so.
Right?
Yeah, y'all about the same age. Yeah,
you were.
I was like a senior. I was like a senior in high school then, so it was like for me.
So
I was a senior in high school.
No. He's old heads.
Now I'm about to be 37, man.
Look.
But yeah, I was born.
Hey, listen, you guys. We got that 10-year span, so we about the same generation, man.
It's the same
generation.
Yeah. Once I get over that 10-year gap, then yeah, you're right. I am. As long as like 10 years, in between, we good.
I always feel like you ever go to the doctor and your whole life they're like, oh yeah, you're still young though, but you're still young. But then you stop hearing that.
Yeah. I mean, you told me that.
You don't hear that you're still young anymore,
Nah, you don't hear that. You don't hear that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because like that's one of the things that really drew me to your channel was like how much I was like, yo, me and this dude got a lot in common. Like Maximum Carnage was what got me into it, and Spawn, like when Spawn came out, that was it too. Like when Spawn #1 came out, I saw it on a newsstand, I grabbed it. #2 came out, I grabbed it. #3, I got all the way till number 15. So I had all.
And you know what else, Reno? What was dope about Spawn is like, think about Spider-Man was on issue 300 something at the time. Like there wasn't many like appealing new series that you could just jump in at #1. So that was good.
No, there wasn't.
Spawn.
That was because the comic, they weren't doing it like that. Like kind of now, there's really good jump on points, and the
renumbering and all that.
Yeah, like the ones Marvel definitely was, in DC, they were not. You really had to get into them, and it was daunting. Like that's what stopped me. So like when the Carnage thing, because first I saw the black suit Spider-Man, and I'm like, yo, that's a ninja right there. That's dope.
Secret
like
Wars.
And then Carnage was like a story that I could start at. So that was like a starting point that got me into it, right? And the same thing with Spawn, man.
What about Age of Apocalypse? Because that like. I used to read X-Men comics here and there. Like I never really, like I told you, remember I told you I was showing you guys the box I had. It was a friend of mine's, and I was telling him that he was an X-Men freak, and he had all these comics. But we all joined the military. We all went to school together. Grew up. So one day he left his comics at my house, and I asked him. I called him up one day. I said, "Yo, I was in Japan." I said, "Yo, listen, man, what do you what you gonna do with these comics, man? Like I got these comics at my house." He says, "You know what? Keep them." Just like that. I was like, it's a lot of comics. Nice. They were in a long box. So I was like, all right. So I just kept them. And I read a few of them. They were okay. But Age of Apocalypse is what got me. Is what really got me into X-Men like he was. Like once I read that, I was blown away. And then I went back. I started going back into that. So like for you, could you say that was there one X-Men series that just captivated you?
So here's the thing. Around that time, X-Men was too confusing for me. And what actually got me out of comics around that time was X-Men and Spider-Man was doing it. There were so many different titles: Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Spider-Man Spectacular. Right. Then you had X-Men. You had By the time Age of Apocalypse came out, they purposely did a bunch of 4-issue miniseries that were like alternate versions of like X Factor and Excalibur, right? So it was confusing, and I was young. I didn't have money to be picking up all these titles. So a lot of that stuff I wasn't able to enjoy until I got back into it as an adult. But like those trade paperbacks were good because it wasn't as confusing as trying to follow single issues, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that story.
Yeah.
It's still confusing to this day a little bit, right? Like
it is. And that was my problem. I just couldn't get with it. Like I knew about it, but I couldn't get with it. To me, it just seemed like it was a lot of different story arcs. And I was like, but then when Age of Apocalypse came, I said, you know what? Let me grab this. And then every time I went back, I just kept going back every month. I was like, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
Right. So I started right there, and then I went back. But when the internet came out, that kind of deconfused it because I started going on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And I started reading things here and there, and it just
and the collecting format, the trades and the omnibus and all that made it really easy to follow it because they map it out the way that you're supposed to read it and everything. You don't gotta figure out what
say go to this issue and go to this
issue. Yeah.
Right.
Now you are Reno's generation. Are the generation that started the graphic novels. They like guys, not I'm saying y'all generation, but the younger guys from my generation, which are you guys started collecting the graphic novels.
Yeah.
Were you a big graphic novel collector?
I guess I found it was easier and more affordable to get the whole story, Like I said, when I went to the comic shop, those key issues, I figured out what key issues were, and I'm like, we're not doing that. But yeah, I want to read Spawn. So I didn't pick up #1 off the newsstand. I picked up the trades. I remember getting like the first 4 volumes and then catching up in single issues, which is I'll even do that now. Like, okay, something's killing the children. Let me pick up the trade. Okay, this is dope. I'll start picking up the single issues afterwards. So I guess it was just a convenience thing.
Because the trades usually come out way after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, way after. Yeah.
True.
Because when you look at Watchmen,
true, but
when you look at
I've always been
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Reno. Go ahead.
Nah, I think we got a time delay or something. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah. Because when you look at Watchmen, the history of Watchmen, the actual individual comics didn't sell that well. It was the trade paperback that pushed it into comic stardom. That everybody,
the fact that it was critically acclaimed, and then the fact that like in order for DC to keep the rights, they have to reprint it like every year, otherwise it reverts back to Alan Moore, which is why they have beef. So I think also them constantly reprinting it made everyone aware how great it is because it is a great series, and most people assume it's a graphic novel, but I think the term graphic novel gets thrown around loosely because my understanding of it was something that was printed as one graphic novel, like The Killing Joke, not that it was originally released in single issues and then collected in a trade paperback. Right? Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I mean, potato, whatever.
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, a graphic novel is something that was made as a novel. It was thick. It's one story. It was made that way.
It wasn't like 4 issues. Like Dark Knight Returns is weird because that Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller is kind of like 4 graphic novels that make one story.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That make one story. It is, yeah. But the art is amazing in it, though, and you love it.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a quick question for you, but I got a quick question for you before I ask you this question. The Black Album. What do you think about it? Jay-Z.
We had a big debate.
Hold on. So I don't know, man. There might be a wrong answer here, man. Let me tell you something. I love the Black Album. I think Blueprint is my favorite Jay-Z album. Or Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt is kind of like it's different eras. It's different Jay, right?
Yeah.
But the Blueprint, my favorite song is a song that most people probably don't rock with, which is my first song. It's got that casino sample type vibe to it. That's my joint. I don't necessarily like Encore and like all these big commercial songs.
Okay.
But doesn't he also have that song with the R. Kelly sample?
Right.
I'll put the knife in you, take a little bit of life from you.
Wonder.
Yes. So there's a lot of bangers on that album that are not necessarily the singles,
Yeah.
Well, we had a discussion.
Stu's thing was that it wasn't hip hop. It wasn't
hip hop enough for me. Come on, for me, that's look. All right, look. Let me explain. Danger Mouse. I don't know if you know who Danger Mouse. I don't know if you know who Danger Mouse is.
Trouble here because there's a lot of. I'm a hip hop head, but there was a certain time where I stopped following, and there's a couple of artists that I don't know anything about. MF Doom, Danger Mouse. So I'm gonna get in trouble.
What?
Especially with MF Doom being a comic head.
All I can do is just say, yes, he's a big comic head. He's a big comic head. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I followed hip hop so heavily in middle school and high school, and then I think around like after that, I wasn't really up on it as much, and I still listen to the same stuff I listened to in the '90s now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, we all do. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. It's not. Listen, if you think about our parents, remember our parents used to listen to Motown, all they'd be like, "Oh, that's garbage, you guys." But they love their Motown. We do the same thing. It's just a cycle, man. That's all. But Danger Mouse remixed the Black Album, right? With Beatles beats, right? With the Beatles beats, and he called it the Great Album. I thought it was much better than the production on the Black Album, because I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of hip hop. Like I'm hip hop all the time. But to me, I just thought that the production on that from a DJ that had nothing to do with Jay-Z, and he remixed the whole album, it was so much better than the product that he gave us. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Okay. Everybody likes the Black Album. I just couldn't find nothing on there. I didn't like none of the producers on there. And I always thought he did off of Nas. I thought for Nas because Nas
had what, 5 different slight against him, so that's what kind of
it's not. But I own every album. I did, Aaron Rodgers. That is true. But I own every album Jay-Z ever made. I don't own nothing by Aaron Rodgers. So that goes to show you that I at least give Jay-Z a chance. But your collectibles, your sideshow collectibles. That was my next question. We're
gonna get off the controversy, right?
Yeah, we can get off of that. We can get off the controversy. We'll get back to that in a little. But your sideshow collectibles. What's your favorite one that you ever unboxed?
I'm always been a weird type of collector. I don't really get too attached to material things. You know, I'm down with having something for a year or two, and then I get tired of it and I move on. You know, so like right now, my favorite sideshow piece. That's hard to even say, man. Like, I don't know. I like different ones for different reasons. I like the Darth Vader Mythos, which is like an old school like Grail statue. I like the Sabretooth by Martin Canale. I like the new Batman. But right now, my favorite statues are my Prime One Studio Berserk statues, man. I don't know if you guys ever got into Berserk. I was never an anime kid growing up. I never read manga until
I played the game. Yeah, I read the manga, played the game, all of that.
Oh, so okay, yeah. I still have the PS4 game. I'm not gonna play it until I live stream. I'm about to set up my Twitch situation and all that, and I want to live stream playing that. But
no, man, I'm a big video game fan, man. I'll send you my gamer tag.
I think Reno was telling me that you're on Twitch heavy. Yeah. So that's something. Those are my favorite statues right now. Plus, if you don't know anything about Prime One, they just have that's like the highest level really statues that are out right now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I know you're a big fan. You're also Now I know you're also a big fan of selling things in your collection to make get new things. Like I know you like to out with the old and with the new, or maybe you like, look, I need this instead of that. Was there anything that was ever hard to part with that you had?
Never.
That you just said, look,
never.
Man.
You know what's funny, Stu? That came from me in middle school wanting the new Bone Thugs CD, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll trade the Wu-Tang Enter 36 Chambers. I listened to that a million times. I'll trade that against Art of War. Man, that's how I always am. Like,
and y'all get on me about the Black Album.
I'm gonna dig into what I got to make it happen. You know?
Right. I don't know if I could have traded.
I'm trying to get there, bro. I'm trying to get there, bro. I've never sold one thing that I had.
Yeah, I hear people say that. That blows my mind. It was the same way when it probably is the opposite. When you're looking at me like, how does this guy sell this stuff? I don't know, man. I get sick of stuff, and sometimes I'll be looking at the room like, man, I'm ready to change this whole situation up. Let's sell everything and then we'll
change up like that.
I feel that,
like that,
yeah. Because like the books that I got on the wall, I get tired of them, and I'll switch them out with other books. There you go. Okay. But I feel so. I know what you mean, though. You can definitely get tired of your stuff. That's for
also,
sure.
You know what it is. I'm always like wanting that new next thing. So it's always like it's a space issue, it's a money issue. It's like, I see the new shiny object, so I'll start looking at this crap I have laying around. It's not, you don't love that anymore, and you want the new thing. So I don't know. That's kind of just how I'm wired, I guess.
You definitely won't be a hoarder. You know what I mean? Because hoarders. Sure.
I hate clutter, man. My wife Fee, you guys see, she does stuff on the channel with me. Yeah. She could be very messy, and I hate that, man. I'm like, yo, throw all this away. Like,
get mad you can throw it away without asking her.
Because I'll throw stuff out. Like, I don't, I haven't seen this in 3 years. There's no reason why I need this in the trunk of my car. Like, let's go.
Yeah, okay, I do that. Now I definitely do that. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, if I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get there, especially with the collectibles, man. But our viewers, our regular viewers, our tribe and stuff that from Full Blast, they don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about these sideshow collectible statues. They can't see them, but y'all don't understand. Like these things are massive.
They look good.
And incredibly detailed. I mean, mind-blowing detail. You see a couple of them there up in the corner.
Well, we like the quarter scale, so it's like 1/4 the scale of a person, you know. So you're looking at like 20-inch figures, and you know, we grew up collecting toys, so it's only a natural progression as an adult. You have these high-end $500 to $1,000 well-painted statues, so it's like just like the next evolution of like toy collecting, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, that's what I like. I got that shelf full of Marvel's Legends and you know, Star Wars Black Series. That's what I collect. But it's only because I can't afford $1,000 statues yet. So that's my next question.
But Reno, you could. All you gotta do is move a couple of them books.
Yeah. You got some gold mines in there.
Right. Yeah. No, I just asked that question because Reno, he's not getting rid of nothing.
It's like, I never got rid of nothing, but it's like
I'm also, man, I'm, you know, as a collector, you know, oftentimes it's all about the hunt, but sometimes when I'm selling, I enjoy selling as much as I like buying, you know, and I got to be careful because sometimes if I sell one thing, I'll get in that mode and I'm ready to wheel and deal. You know, the money coming in, like the space freeing up, that's like a high for me as well, man. So
have you ever sold something that you regretted selling? Like maybe it was worth a lot more after the fact?
Well, okay, there's been a lot. I did a video on this just the other day. I sold a lot of Grail comics, like first appearances of Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four. I had them all. And if I would have held them, they've tripled or better now. However, when I sold them, I got into Omnibus, I got into statues, I started the channel. So like the butterfly effect. So I'm not really mad at it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of books that I sold way too early for sure.
Yeah. No, I just saw your video you just posted of the gap that they've grown in just a short time.
In a year. So the X-Men keys.
Really during COVID.
Bro, I mean, and what's funny is I should have put my money where my mouth was, but at the time I was like, I'm not really big on investing. Like I don't like to buy something and sit on it for a year or two. Like I'm too quick pace for that. But we were saying in the video a year ago, like all these books are gonna go up. We already knew that Disney got the rights to X-Men and Fantastic Four, that we're gonna see them in the MCU, which is a new thing for those characters, and that all those keys were gonna blow up. And sure enough, man.
Yeah, they even said that the Falcon and Winter Soldier, because the last episode, the person that was in it, like that comic went up in price.
I forget her name. It's like a 4-name name, but Elaine from Seinfeld, Julia.
Yeah, I think she's Madam Hydra, I think. So
we had
it. I don't know if you watch out. I don't know if you watch our show.
Valentina.
I don't know.
She's a shield. She's a shield.
Valentina.
Shield, I think. In the comic. Shield.
Well, no, I actually Googled her and they said that she
becomes Madam Hydra.
Yeah,
so that's why
she turned.
Yeah. And she kind of inspires him, I thought she was telling him to go steal the shield.
I think she's just gonna tap him and have him join her side, you know.
Yeah.
Well, if you
that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think.
And you saw remember the comic scene, right? Where he's making his own shield. Yeah. So that was what she was talking him into, was make your own, because it's not nothing. They don't own the image. That's what she was telling him.
Oh, that's true. And then she was like, I know you don't have the shield, right?
Yeah.
So I thought
the battery in his back.
Steal it, but
definitely put the battery in his. But that's what she does. That's what she does. Yeah,
he's turning Looney Tunes. Right. So that finale, which is this Friday, it's gonna be
crazy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they killed his boy. What's his? I always forget his name, man.
Battlestar.
Oh yeah.
That name doesn't hit right. They should have. I don't know. Anyway, but you can understand why he was pissed, right? But you know what was weird? And do you guys talk spoilers on here?
Well, we always
say,
we always lead off. We always lead off with whoever's been living under a rock the past week. You might want to turn your ears.
What I thought was weird is that like he didn't kill the person who killed Battlestar,
exactly.
No. But he went and told his family that he got them, right?
Yeah.
Right. There's some, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that yet. We got to feel it out, I guess.
Yeah.
They didn't really represent Battlestar that well in this series.
Yeah,
they didn't really represent him.
Brought him in there just to, bring, I guess, because, they killed him and now he's going over the edge now.
That was the catalyst to really turn him all the way. It also humanized him a lot too. Like he was in the war with them. He was in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And he kind of let us know as viewers, like, listen, we got medals and everything, but I don't know that we really did anything heroic out there. You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's a good show, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it
the way
is.
they
Do you guys think?
brought Bradley back.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see, man.
Yeah.
Isaiah Bradley, I think it's more setting up his grandson, right? He's Patriot from the Young Avengers. So I think that's really, he's got some of the serum in his blood, I guess, right? So
he's gonna give him the blood, like, well, that's what he did in the comic,
because I really wasn't up on Young Avengers like that, but
me either.
Yeah,
me neither. But
they've been introducing a lot of them throughout, even WandaVision. The twins are part of it. And I think Kate Bishop part of it as well, and we know that she's gonna have a Hawkeye show and whatever.
So they're definitely gearing up for a Young Avengers.
They said they even might go towards because they brought Zemo. They're bringing him to the raft. Yeah. That might be the start of the Thunderbolts.
And with Disney Plus, they can do whatever they want now.
Yeah.
I hope so. I like the Thunderbolts. I always thought the Thunderbolts were like that odd group of heroes, but they were dope. Like, I always liked them, man.
I never read the original ones. I read the Rick Remender. I think it was Rick Remender. It must have been the last iteration where it had it was all red. It was like Elektra, Red Hulk, Agent Venom with the red chest, Punisher with the red skull.
Punisher with the red skull,
yeah.
I just read the other day, Punisher. I didn't really get to read the whole thing, but I was reading a digital comic where Nick Fury gave Punisher an Iron Man armor. He gave, and Punisher went out and just was killing everybody and everything he could get his hands on. I read that. He was almost invincible.
I forget the story of it. I don't know if he sent him there undercover, not like a Black Ops mission or something,
Yeah,
that's the one where it was like a war machine with a skull on the
front. It was he gave him. What he did was, you know how Nick Fury's always in the know. It was a mission that he wanted done, and he knew he couldn't get it done through regular channels because it would have been too controversial for S.H.I.E.L.D. in America.
Yep.
So he goes to Punisher and he says, "Hey, listen, I have access to this armor, the War Machine armor. I need you, if you just complete a mission for me, everything will be fine." So Punisher's like, he's on the fence about it, but then he's like, "All right, I'll do it." So he does it. He goes and gets the armor. Nick Fury gives him, everything he needs to go into the warehouse and gets it. He goes in there, he gets it, takes it to his little hideout, paints it, the Punisher logo and all that. And he does the mission, completes it. But then he was supposed to dispose of the armor. But he was like, why not? Well, I might as well keep this for a little bit. Yeah, so he takes off. And then Tony Stark. So then Nick Fury had to send Tony Stark to go stop him. But he never really told. The controversy was like how he found out about it. Because he never told him, like, look, I gave him access to it. They thought Punisher stole it.
Right.
And, the whole murder around the whole thing was like, Nick Fury gave him access to it, but he never admits to it. And kind of admits to that he did it like that. He just kind of dances around.
And I think the mission was the right thing to do, right? But there was just like international red tape or something. I think he had to save.
There was a lot of
something like that.
Yeah. But he knew Punisher was the man for the job. And so Punisher's whole thing was like, okay, you're going to use me, so I'm going to use you. I'm keeping this armor. I really like it.
You expect him to even give it back? I mean, Punisher.
Well, Punisher's
the man. With the the upcoming Armor Wars,
right?
It's gonna be a Disney Plus. I wonder, is that gonna entail a lot of different Iron Man storylines?
Yeah, that's an Iron Man storyline. I'm not too familiar with that one either, but I think it has a lot to do with Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2. I'm pretty sure it has to do with that. I'm not really 100%, and I've had someone explain it to me. I don't even remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should be really.
So it's an Iron Man storyline for sure. Yeah, it should be straight.
Has everyone seen the new Shang-Chi?
No, I just pulled it up and I was gonna watch it because I thought it was just some fake. Because everyone's making these fake things. But when I saw this was an official one, I just found it when we were talking. I said, "Oh man, I gotta look at this," because I didn't know if y'all watched it yet.
It made me a little bit more excited.
I could throw it up here right now.
Yeah.
I'll throw it up here right now.
All right.
Can y'all see it?
I gave you 10 years to live your life. Now you see me rise. And where did that get you? shadow. I trained you. So the most dangerous people in the world couldn't kill you. Son, it's time for you to take your place by my side. You better watch out, 'cause it's my time. That's not going to happen. You can't outrun who you really are.
Who are you? We make a good team.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Like a high budget modern day martial arts flick, right?
Yeah, Jackie Chan flick, like a high, but yeah, like a Jackie Chan flick.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I want to see it, man.
Yeah, that's
September, right? September 3rd. Was that Labor Day weekend?
Is it
September?
Or yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, they had like the drill beat going a little bit, right?
And they showed that guy. Actually, that guy's the Mandarin, right?
The real Mandarin.
Yeah.
The real Mandarin.
They named him something else. I forget his name. He's got a different name. They're not calling the Mandarin. Feige said, matter of fact, let's see if I got it up here. He said, I think people here. Okay, his name is Wen Wu, and he's a newly created character from Marvel Cinematic Universe. The first time that we heard of the 10 Rings was back on Iron Man. Feige says that villain has gone by many names, including the Mandarin. So it's Wen Wu, also the Mandarin. Also, I guess because Shang-Chi's father is Fu Manchu in the comics.
Yeah.
They had a retcon that Benjamin Kingsley Mandarin, I guess.
Well, remember that was they did that one shot with the little video with Ben Kingsley.
Like they were gonna kill him. Yeah.
Right, like he was the actor that was pretending to be the Mandarin. And but the real Mandarin was out there, and that's the 10 Rings that was behind him. That's a terrorist organization, right? In the comics, 10 Rings that Mandarin runs. So you know that dude is supposed to be. Actually, Feige said what he said. He said, I think people hear the Mandarin and they expect a very specific kind of thing, and that may not be the thing they're getting.
They're not going to get the guy with the actual 10 rings and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, man, if I'm paying my money,
hopefully getting a more complex and layered take on the character that the name would lead you to. So, yeah, man, I don't know why they do that. I really don't. Like, they've got these ready-made stories with these characters that are already successful. We know they're dope. We know we like them, and they just change them for the movies. Change the way they look, change the character. Change so much of them. Sometimes they hit, but sometimes they miss.
It looks like they jacked up Taskmaster in this Black Widow movie, man.
Yeah,
they did, man.
I understand his comic book appearance is a little out there, almost like a Skeletor pirate or something.
Some of them they gotta change. Some of them they gotta change.
So do you think they should have changed Darkseid's look?
I mean, I guess I was one of the on the side that didn't really like how his look was. It looked a little rocky. It looked a little.
Oh wow!
I don't know. I didn't like it. It didn't really feel like I guess comic looking Darkseid, or even like Injustice 2 Darkseid was on point. I just felt like this one was
very on point. It
was different. I mean, I wasn't like banned or against it or whatever, but I wasn't like, oh damn, look at Darkseid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like the Zack Snyder. That was supposed to be the official one. I like this so much. I guess I didn't even pay attention to it because
I
was disappointed in the first one.
You know what's funny though?
Right.
I thought that Darkseid was gonna save the Snyder cut, but I didn't even care about Darkseid. I think Steppenwolf and Cyborg and Flash were so much better that I wasn't even thinking about Darkseid like that.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah,
and he only had a couple little scenes anyway.
Right, he only had like what? One of them was in the Rock, and the other he had 2 other scenes. I guess.
When the portal, when he threw him back through his head.
Right. And he didn't use his Omega beams. I mean, Darkseid
is water once, right?
Yeah. You like, in the past, you like, come on, like I didn't like how when they were fighting in the big field with the Amazons and everybody's fighting. He's come with the pair, and then they hit him with the axe, and then he starts bleeding, and then the Parademon snatching back, and they put him in. I'm like, wait a minute, that's no.
That didn't feel like Darkseid, right?
Nah, that's not Darkseid. Darkseid can change his size.
Was it so long ago that he just got so much more powerful over time? And then the whole thing about how he didn't realize the anti-life equation was left behind there, like that was confusing for me.
Yeah. Why did he?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's Hollywood. They got to put their spin on it.
Because it was the only time he lost. I guess he didn't know, but you slammed the ground, and that's what left the anti-life equation. So you didn't know. That's a plot hole for me. Now, a lot of people, we have a Facebook group, and a lot of people will try to explain it to me, but I still don't really understand what happened with that.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm a big DC fan and Darkseid. I'm a big New Gods fan, so I was like, no. No, you can't. Then, like, they never even tell you, like, Steppenwolf is Darkseid's uncle. They never tell you that. They never even divulge into the whole history of everything.
Know that.
Yeah.
I was just glad it was so much better than the first one.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it redeemed it. I think it did its thing.
Yeah.
It definitely was a way better.
I was still into it. It wasn't like, dang, this movie's so it's taking a while. I think they needed 4 hours to make it flow. Instead of they try to compact a lot of things in movies, and then it's like, all right, where are they going?
But I like how they broke it into chapters because it was like, all right, let's take a breather real quick. And it didn't feel like it was dragging out.
We watched the whole joint. Yeah, we watched the whole thing straight through, and I think we
watched half of it, and then we got some food or something, and then came back. We watched it all in one day, but it was good. It was good little stopping point. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let's take a breather.
I took a break during every chapter. I took a straight break during every chapter. We got some popcorn or something. Yeah, I was like, let me get some popcorn. I'll be right back. And I was like, all right. And I came back, watched chapter 2. Then I came back, watched chapter 3, and I just did that the whole thing.
And that's funny now. We're watching Falcon Winter Soldier, and we're like, man, this thing is 60 minutes. I'm like, we're getting like a whole movie almost with every episode.
Yeah. Disney did state movies. Yeah, Disney did state that they're like mini-series movies, and that was their goal. Yeah, moving forward. Yeah. Right. Now speaking of Gem Mint Collectibles and Sideshow, do you have a Darkseid or a Falcon?
So I had a Darkseid. I had the first premium format. I ended up getting rid of that early on because I was trying to collect everything, and I was like, man, I can't afford it, man. I can't get DC and Marvel and all this stuff. So I ended up starting off just was collecting the Marvel pieces, and I never got a Falcon piece because I don't really collect movie pieces. Like if it was a comic version, I probably would pick one up, but not really. I don't really collect the movie versions. I just feel like the comic versions are timeless, and I feel like the movie version someone could get recasted or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't feel like the real version for me.
Right. They're a little more cheesy.
Yeah, I think so. Right when you have like Chris Evans' face, I see the actor. I don't really see the character. You know what I mean? When I see that, so
this is true.
I always go for the comic version.
Oh, me too. Injustice too. Favorite character in Injustice 2.
My favorite character of Justice League.
Injustice 2.
Oh, and Injustice 2. Man, you gotta see. I played more of Injustice 1, and Doomsday was my main character. Like that's one of my favorite villains. Injustice 2, I feel like I couldn't really get into it. I never really felt like I wanted to like Swamp Thing or the Ninja Turtles or Ninja Turtles was Injustice 2, right?
That was 2, yeah. That was 2.
Man, I never really got into 2 like that. I didn't like the gear system. I don't know. I'm an Injustice 1 player all day though.
Okay, yeah, because I'm real good with Solomon Grundy. Don't laugh. But,
and I wanted to like Darkseid too, but I just didn't like how his character really played.
Oh, I love the way his character plays in part 2. Oh,
yeah, I gotta go back to it, man. I don't know. I couldn't get.
You're talking about the game?
Yeah.
But Injustice 1, I was a big Solomon Grundy fan on there. I beat a lot of. I had a guy laugh at me one day. We were online, and I pulled in. I went into the room, and he was like, "Oh, you," and I could hear him talking. He's like, "Oh, this guy's using Solomon Grundy," and he was laughing at me, like he was literally like cracking up. But I beat him down so bad, I didn't hear anything. Come second round, I didn't hear nothing. It was just, after that, it was just all profanity after that one.
I like Doomsday. I like Batman, Nightwing in the first game. I think those were the three I played with the most. Or Green Lantern, I liked a lot too.
Yeah, Green Lantern was real hardcore. So was Flash. I like the Flash too in the first.
Yeah.
I like the Flash a lot, man. And Lobo, I was real big with Lobo.
I was sick with Lobo. I think he was a DLC character too.
Yes, he was. Yeah,
I was sick with Lobo, man.
One of those animated movies that came out recently that Lobo was in it, right? One of the Superman ones. Where Lobo was in it. He was fighting him.
I don't know the name. I don't know the title.
Oh, the new Justice League one they put out. I forget what it's called. I watched all of those. Yeah. They came out. It's called
Is it Justice League Dark? That's not that last one.
No, he was fighting an alien, and then Lobo showed up too. I forgot the name of it, but I always love DC animated movies. They dope. They're dope.
That's where they shine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So hip hop. What's the first hip hop song or album that made you know that hip hop was gonna be your soundtrack to your life?
You know what? It was so I had heard Dr. Dre The Chronic, right? We were young kids. You gotta understand. Like, what time did
we were young. Y'all they see. That's where we differ a little bit with the generational gap. Yeah. We like 8 years. It's a big difference.
Right. 10 years or 5 years and during that age is a big difference. But I remember we would listen to The Chronic, but what really hooked me, I liked Warren G. I loved Warren G's sound. And then that went into, for me, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone Thugs and Harmony is the group that really got me. But I also liked a lot of New York rap at the time. I was into everything Bad Boy was doing. Mostly, Biggie, Black Rob, Woe came out. Rest in peace, Black Rob. Of course, DMX. Rest in peace, DMX. And I was big into New York hip hop because I'm from South Florida. In South Florida, when I was in middle school, the South didn't really have a sound yet. It was more like Miami bass was around at the time. So everyone would front like they were from New York. And most people in South Florida, their family from New York.
It was from New York. Yeah.
Nobody in Florida from New York. But then as the South came up as No Limit and Cash Money, and then that's like what Florida took up that moniker kind of, know. But anyway, but I was really big into that stuff, Wu-Tang, Method Man, and all that kind of stuff. And then the West Coast stuff was like with Tupac and Snoop. But for me, it was always Bone Thugs and Harmony. To me, I don't know. And you guys are all up north guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, like I'm from St. New York. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. So
I'm from New Jersey.
I'm born in Queens, but grew up in Florida. So
and I was born in Jersey, but my parents moved to South Florida. I was 1 year old, so I feel it in my blood, but I didn't live there. But
dirty Jersey in the house. Dirty Jersey in the house.
But for Bone Thugs and Harmony, man, everything from the harmonizing to the, I was also young and I liked teams that looked the same. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Voltron. So that was like a hip hop version of like one of those kind of teams. They all had like similar hairstyles, similar flow.
Yeah. So they were flesh and bone. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, and they all had the same last name, and their first names were kind of similar. So like then you had the fast rap, the double time stuff, the harmonizing. Then the production was on another level. So that just really spoke to me for whatever reason at that age too. It really hooked me with like that first of the month, and then the Crossroads, and then going back to listening to the older stuff. So that's always been my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
I know in New York they didn't really get love until Notorious Thugs. That's when New York was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, only they get attached.
It was like a sprinkle because I was on him. A friend of mine, he put me up on him. He passed away a couple years ago, but he put me up on him. I went over his house. He was like, "Yo, you gotta hear this, man. You gotta hear it." And he was like, "These guys from Ohio, you gotta hear him." I was like, I was like, just turn it on. Let me hear this.
Florida, man.
By the end of that first album, I was like, yo,
you never heard nothing like that. That was the thing.
Never. I had never heard nothing like that. I was blown away by it. I was like, man, these guys.
My cousin put me on to Thuggish Ruggish Bone, the first album. And that was just some new. The way the beat came on. I mean, still to this day, bro. That first Bone album to me is a classic.
So, to this day, for me, the beat for First of the Month is like still crazy. Like I still can't wrap my mind around that.
Yeah, First of the Month was hot. Yeah, that was the hottest thing I had ever heard from them. I was like, man, I was hooked after I heard First of the Month. Like really hooked on them.
Yeah, that was the one that really put me on. And then I went back and heard, because I was young. I didn't catch Creeping On and Come Up right when it came out.
Yeah, see, I did. I was, because I'm 41, so I was born in 79, so I'm just a few years older than you. And yeah, the first album, man, For the Love of Money, like that was where I came in on Bone. But they were big in Florida. They were huge down there and in LA and stuff. But yeah, man. So did you ever? Well, like you just mentioned, they're like a team, and you know, we always try to, or we always just notice the correlation between comics and hip hop and how they really, you know, emulate each other. Well, now more comics emulating hip hop. You know, in the past it wasn't like that. But when did you ever notice, or did you ever notice the real like correlation where you saw that comics are all in hip hop and you saw how they was really related?
Wu-Tang's when I noticed it, and I was always like, how can people think that comics are for nerds when you have the epitome of like what was hot? You know what I'm saying? And Wu-Tang promoting it, and that's their nickname. So like I never really understood when people say that. I was like, you know, man, Wu-Tang in the 90s. It sounds corny to say, but that's what was cool. You know what I'm saying? So for those dudes to be like, yo, I'm Tony Starks, man, like, you know, and be into the comics and all that. And then even like Outkast, man, Outkast's first album, no, was it the first or second album was a comic book cover? I think it was ATLians. That's the second album.
Oh, was it ATLians?
It was ATLians, yeah. And they had it was a comic book.
I don't know the order of those albums, but but I have ATLians.
So I always just look at hip hop
because that's the Equimini.
Yeah, there you go.
Humans, but the Equimini version.
So I just always looked at it like, man, I never thought that comics were for nerds. I always thought it was just people fucked with them. You know what I mean? And if Method Man fucks with him and he's cool as shit, so what?
Yeah.
Why can't I?
Why
can't I? Right.
So Method Man think they were nerd.
Yeah. That's the man, comic nerd. You got,
he says he got a lot of books. Yeah. Now, if you had to pick a comic book that would emulate your life, or you say you could base your life on, what would it be?
Man, I don't know if they wrote that one yet, man. We got to write it.
You got to write that one. We might get to
you got to look at it like I'm always someone that's been a hustler, not in a negative sense, but somebody who's just always gonna hustle to get it. You know, I never looked at it like my path was never going to be work really hard for someone and hopefully they'll pay me more, man. Fuck that. I just quit my job, actually. Matter of fact, I put my 2 weeks in. I was there 14 years, but I'm like, yo, I'm getting it on my own, man. I don't need that shit anymore. So I just want to get it for myself and just make my own path, you know, so that, you know, I don't know if that's
Tiger's already there and I'm on the way. Yeah, man.
Yeah, when you look in the mirror and you think about comic book characters, who do you see?
Man, I don't know, man.
Everybody sees somebody. And you know, some people might be ashamed to be like, nah, man. But everybody can say, well, you know what? I think of myself as like, you know, me personally, I think of myself as like, you know, Awesome Hulk. You know what I mean? That's
so I think of myself more like Kingpin.
That's dope, though. Yeah.
Well, you know, and again, not in a negative sense, but I look at someone like who builds their own empire, who's their own boss, you know, and someone who gets money.
Yeah, entrepreneur.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Okay. We can see that. Because you said you sold your collection. I mean, like I said, I've been watching videos for a long time, probably maybe since when you first started. And it was a couple times you was like, yeah, I sold all this and I got this now.
Yeah,
I got, you know, you was like I got this. I was like, man, why did he get rid of that? I was like, yo, but you were like, nah, I got to keep it moving. I got to move forward. Move forward.
Always, man. Out with the old and with the new.
So when you started your channel, like really, when did you know, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this channel, go full in and really make it a thing? Or did you start that way or did you start like dabbling?
So check this out. So I was living in South Florida, right? And I was renting my mother-in-law's house. Fee's mother, she had a house, nice, decent little spot. She hooked us up on the rent. It was very expensive in South Florida, so it was manageable. And I had a couple different rooms that were like my comic book room. First, it was just a spare bedroom. Then it was like we had to move the shit to the living room. Then we finally got the back space. Anyway, So I had this back space, and during this time, I had first got my first sideshow statues, and I was like, I'm looking on YouTube to see what other statues were out there, and I started seeing channels of people who were doing statue reviews and doing omnibus reviews, and I would look at their channels, and I'm never content with being a fan. If I like something, I got to do it. I got to know the ins and outs. I got to be a part of it. So I see these channels like, man, I could do this shit. I'm going to set up my own channel, and I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to be on camera next to the statue so you can see how big it is. I'm going to read the books and review them and all this kind of stuff. So right when I was about to start the channel, I had this opportunity at the job I was working with to move out here. I'm in El Paso, Texas right now, right? Mm-hmm. So I was ready for a change to move. And the thing about El Paso, Texas is it's like the lowest cost of living in the country. So what's crazy about El Paso is like I'm in this side of town where everything is brand new. They're building like crazy. It's got one of like the biggest military presence out here with Fort Bliss. And the houses are brand new, nice, big size, and they're inexpensive. So that's kind of how I was able to quit the job and do this full time, because I ended up flipping my collection a few times to pay the house off. Anyway, when I was over here, the company put me in an apartment for 4 months. So for 4 months, I had no rent, and I was able to look for a house because I was transitioning to be like the liaison from one company to the contracting company. Anyway, so when I was house hunting, you know how people have a checklist, right? Of what, you know, the wife wants, what the husband wants, all that. I'm like, yo, I need a room where I can set my collection up and start this channel, because once I start this channel, it's going to be on. I'm seeing what's out there right now, and I'm seeing what I'm going to bring to the table. And that was the plan, yo, from day one. Like when you guys see the first video, I didn't have any equipment. I just set up, I like literally just got done setting up my room. So I put my phone up on the desk, and I'm like, yo, this is Gem Mint Collectibles, stay tuned, you know, and I just knew what I was going to do. And it just happened to work, man. Like I was relentless in like promoting myself. I had already been on IG since like at the time for like 3 years, and I was already kind of making a name for myself in that community. And,
what were you doing there?
So first it was showing your collection. Then, not to get too much into the detail, but I came up with a real innovative way to sell comics. It's kind of like crowdfunding.
Details.
I'm sorry?
Detail. Let us know.
I don't want to.
You know,
I can't really give too many details without incriminating myself. So,
basically, off air.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. But you know, I was dealing with key issue comics, buying, selling, flipping, and I was building a name for myself there, and I was making money, and I was funding the collection. You know what I'm saying? So. That's kind of how the transition from. I'm still on Instagram. I still post on there and keep up with everybody. But then I transitioned it over to YouTube, and I was like, I'm just gonna showcase the stuff that I legitimately like to collect. I like these statues. I like these omnibus. You know, I like to do live shows, interact with the people. Like I always wanted to be different than what I saw, in the sense like, oh, that person, you can't talk to them, they're unreachable, or you know. Whatever. I wanted to connect with the people that were watching. So I was like, man, why don't these people have live shows and talk to the chat? They be having live shows, but they don't really interact. So I'll be in there in the morning like, yo, what's up, Slick Nick? What's up, Mick? Whoever's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's kind of the thing I was on. And we still do that, man, like every Sunday. So
yeah, that's how we do. That's Mick the Collar, Kareem. Yeah, man. Yeah. Slick Nick, salute the tribe, man. That's all started by Djay Tiger, man. That's
his brought us all together. Yeah.
He started Full Blast Radio, man, and the most interactive, you know what I mean? Just like you said, you know, really, you know, interacting with the people and making a community.
Yeah. Djay Tiger is the most right now.
This guy,
that's our
Djay Tiger. I mean, he always I don't care. I don't care who watching. I don't give a damn. Djay Tiger right now is the most premier VJ DJing on YouTube right now. There's nobody more consistent that I could find, because if it was, as much as I watch his channel, something else would have popped up, and it has, but they're not as consistent as he is. Like Tiger is.
Remember, that's what I don't remember if I said it behind backstage or when we were live, but the channels that I used to watch and I enjoyed, they wouldn't release videos every day, and I would be like, damn, bro, I already watched all the old videos. Where's the new stuff? So I was like, when I make a channel, I'm dropping something every single day, just so people have something continuously. And lo and behold, that was actually really good for the YouTube algorithm, and they reward consistency. So that's something that really helped the channel grow.
That's a good thing to know. Yeah.
And I didn't know that going in, but that was just common sense for me. Like the thing is, when I was in Florida, I had a really long commute to work, like an hour and a half one way. Yeah. And sometimes I would take the tri-rail. That shit was too bouncy, and I couldn't really chill. Tried to read comics digitally. It wasn't working. But I would watch the YouTube stuff on the drive. Like I would have it on the dash, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just kind of driving. And then there was nothing new to watch. I'm like, dog, come on, man, drop something, you know? So
drop something, right? Yeah. Well, Tiger drops. Tiger drops on the regular.
You got to.
Tiger drops on the regular, man. I've watched Jazzy Jeff. What's her name? Lady T or whatever. Lady something. Lady D or whatever she is. And she's pretty good. But
the Wu-Tang mix.
Yeah, she does it right. Yeah. But nobody is as consistent as Djay Tiger. He's on,
and that's true.
Like, the Sunday, the Sunday show. I'll be like the Sunday show. I'm always looking forward to. You got the midday mix.
I just reposted it, so it's gonna go live. Well, the first part went live before we went live, so the second part is gonna go live later on. So
he even got lo-fi beats to relax to.
I always see those on me and my wife have an inside joke about that. Every time someone says low or something like that, we're like, you mean lo-fi beats to study to? And shit like that. But I think consistency is a big thing, and that doesn't mean you have to do it every day, but maybe it's every Wednesday, maybe it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like as long as it's consistent.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So what's the driving force behind Gem Mint? What's the driving force behind it?
It used to be to get these collectibles, but I kind of like have been there, done that. The driving force for me is like, you know, when you're a collector, like, or you're somebody that's like a little bit OCD, like the channel is its own breathing thing now. Now the excitement is growing the channel, and the fact that the sky's the limit. That's the drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, let me see if I can get this thing to 125. Man, let's see if we can hit 150. Right. Let's just see how far we could take it. And that's the fun thing, you know, watching those numbers move. And bringing in income is good too, and it allows you to have the freedom to put more into it. So, for me, the drive to put my time into the channel is the channel itself. It's kind of like a weird thing, you know?
No, it makes sense. Yeah, and I see the silver play button there behind you. That's
I was getting ready to comment on that. Yeah,
and I don't even put it in the frame like that, but that's just the that's something that just lets you know, man, you're on the right path, you know, and and just keep doing what you're doing, do it bigger and better, and I always try to improve, up the quality, up the sound, up the editing, and just always try to get better, you know.
Yeah.
What's the piece of equipment that you couldn't live without? Like the one piece of equipment that you gotta have this. The phone?
I still record everything on the phone because the thing is, is in 4K. The iPhones have great cameras, and I'm used to my what's the word I'm looking for? My process. I record it, I airdrop it to the MacBook, I put it in iMovie, I edit it. Now I added this mic because I was outgrowing the Yeti. The Blue Yeti, I was sounding too like tinny. I wanted more bass and warmth, but it added a lot to my process because now I got to have a mixer and I have to have the cloud booster, and then I got to have the audio track separate from the video track. It's a lot more work just to sound a little bit better, but that's like the type of sacrifices you make when you always want to improve, you know?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
I want to go with a DSLR camera. But I don't know. I'm just scared to change the process. Eventually I'll do it, but I'm just kind of like, I don't really need to right now, so I haven't really made the step, you know?
Yeah, I bought one, and I thought I needed it, and then the one I got wasn't compatible when we were with OBS. And I'm like, man, I spent this money, then I returned, and I'm like, you know, I got these HD webcams. They're good for what I'm doing for now. If I happen to get money to get a nice $1,000 DSLR camera, then I get it. But
man, for the most part, you're the only one that notices. The audience doesn't give a shit. They just want you. You know what
I mean? You're doing music.
I noticed. I'm not.
He's doing music. He's doing music. So fine detail and 4K and all that isn't that important.
Yeah.
For me, the sound is more important
because it was a 4K.
Right now, I got surround sound. I'm at 5.1. I'm about to move up to 7.1. I got a 4K TV. I'm about to get an 8K TV. I got 4K TVs. Like I got the Sony Bravias. I got the best ones they make. You know, like me, I notice a difference. I'll be looking at it. I'll be like, man, that's a good camera they got. Yeah. You know, but I can make that comment because my TV takes advantage of that. And a lot of people don't. And I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. But
high end.
Right, I'm real techie. Right.
A lot of people were just watch it on their phone anyway at their lunch break or something, you know.
So you don't need that.
I can't do it. No, it doesn't do it no justice for me. If I'm on the go, if I have to, I like to sit down in front of my TV and watch it because I got a big screen. It's 4K. I can't wait to get my 8K. I'm gonna really be blown away.
Well,
so get that camera.
I usually watch YouTube. I'm laying in bed, you know, and I'll flip through on TV. I don't really like to watch it on my phone too much like that.
Oh, right.
Not me either.
No, I do. I
can't see the detail.
So I put the phone on the dash, like you were saying.
Yeah.
If I got a hour or two in the car,
which
is every couple of days. But yeah, man. The equipment is big, man. The equipment is important, but
I don't think that you need it all to get started.
Yeah.
You don't need it all to get started, man. I added as I went. I started with just the phone, I took feedback from the comments. Like, you need, you're whack. You need lighting. All right, all right. I'm gonna get the lighting. All right, boom. Man, you don't even have a mic. Okay, boom, let me get the mic.
For real?
Yeah, and that is building as needed.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the worst comment? What's the worst comment you ever had? You streaming? You doing your thing?
All of it is bullshit. The negative comments. First of all, for every negative comment, there's 1,000 positive comments.
Exactly.
Yes,
I say the same thing, man.
You know what I say?
They keep putting links to porn in my.
Oh, I get that too. I used to always hide those users, but now I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. More comments is just more engagement anyway. Let them post their bots. But you know what? I always try to tell myself, because it could fuck with you. But I'll be like, you guys are music heads, right? So I'm like, if you go to your favorite song of all time on YouTube right now, that shit's got a gang of thumbs downs.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah.
Like how you know, you gotta figure there's a yin and yang to everything as well.
And what? Yeah,
well, positivity is a lot of people that are just negative.
Yeah, a lot of people are negative, man, because they don't like to see your positivity.
They don't like to see positive thing. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Ghostface said it best. Ghostface said it best. He said, "Corny people get a chance now."
Yeah,
with the invention of YouTube and internet. That's what he said. He said, "Corny guys get a chance," because he said back in the day, he said you didn't get a chance if you was corny. Like when remember when Simon Cowell and everybody used to get on Simon Cowell when they would come on Americans, singing whatever that. Yeah, and he would be like, "Look," he'd be like, "Well, no, I don't think you're good enough, or you have what it takes. I'm sorry." And everybody would be like, no. And Simon would be like, no. But now I see why, because you can't, Simon's like, look, when I'm judging talent, I know what real talent is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if you're good, you're good. But
being a yes man.
Right. He said he made a comment one day. I was watching him on Howard Stern. He said there's a difference between being good and being talented. And he said, you can be good at something, that's cool. But to be talented, that's different. That's what separates you from the good. Right. That separates you from the good people. Right.
Yeah, he didn't hold his tongue either. That was his thing, right? Like
no, he never held his tongue. Because they tricked him. They had the guy that sung the song Hero for the Spider-Man movie. They didn't tell him, they didn't tell Simon who he was. He came on, he sang it, and they said, "What do you think?" And Simon was like, said he's good, but I don't think he has what it takes to make it. I don't think he'll, and even if he does, somebody does give him a chance, he doesn't have any longevity. So then they bought it and said, well, this is the guy that sang for the blockbuster movie Spider-Man, yada yada. So Simon was like, oh, okay. It's like,
I'm gonna change my mind because now I know.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, and he didn't. He said, well, that's just my opinion, and that's what I think. I was like, wow. And that's when he made the comment. He said, you can be good or you can be talented.
Yeah, because where's Homeboy who sang that song anyway?
Right, I don't see him now. Right, that's the only thing I've ever heard him sing.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, man. Yeah, exactly. So, there is a media for that, and it's called YouTube, where people give you down. But
Jim, you do everything yourself, or are you one of these channels that has a team of people? Like, how do you do this?
I do it all myself. I can be very cheap when it comes to outsourcing or delegating. I'm not really good at that. Like I have friends, peers that have editors, and they'll send their stuff to them to edit. I'm like, yo, if I have raw footage, I need that shit done right now, man. Somebody hit me up today. They want to be my editor. I said, you don't want to work for me, dog, because I need that shit right now. Like I don't have time to be hitting you up. Where's it at? And then I
do it on your time, then have to wait on someone else's.
Right? Because I do stuff every day, so it's like, man. Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't think that I'm a little bit more picky. I don't think they're gonna do it as good as I could do it for myself. Right. Like, I know how I want myself to look and stuff. So
there you go.
Exactly.
I do everything myself.
Right. And so you, I see your wife with you a lot. Does she help? Does she help at all with the production, or
nah? She's just the head of logistics, and behind and operations.
But she works. She helps the business though.
Oh, for sure, she helps the business. Yeah, she doesn't necessarily help with the content, but she helps with behind the scenes. She's like the go-to for helping me set up stuff, like helping me put the shelves together and the setup together, and man, just packaging stuff and help managing the Facebook group, and she does a lot of that behind the scenes stuff.
That's big.
Quick question, because a lot of guys probably want to know this. When she found out your love for comic books and collectibles, what was her reaction?
I got a good story for you real quick. So I had my childhood comics and trading cards. You know, I would always move them with me as a teenager. Like most people, we moved around a lot, right? So I ended up in this apartment with like 5 of my homeboys, and we didn't pay the electric. We were living with no power, and we got evicted. So she came to help me get the rest of my shit, and she's like, "Hey, Steve, what are you gonna do about your comics and your cards?" I was like, "Man, just leave that shit." And she was like, "Hell no, we're not leaving that." She grabbed it all.
Oh,
so nice. She already knew that I had these comics and stuff, but it wasn't until like a little bit like we've been together for 20 years now. You know what I'm saying? Since we were in high school, and I wasn't really into comics, but like I was into like superheroes. Like I think our first date was Spider-Man 1 in the movie theaters. We skipped school and we went and saw it, right? Mm-hmm. So when we moved into well, we were already together, but when we had kids, we lived in a house together. I had more of a stable job, and I found out about eBay, and I started going back to buying shit from my childhood. Then she started seeing me like really get back into it.
Okay,
that's dope.
That's dope.
That is dope. Yeah, that's a dope.
You know, most wives they're not really down with the comic books or the collectibles, especially like, you know, the toys, the figures, the pops. They're like, what? Like,
no, she was always into that shit. Like she grew up with like 7 brothers, though, like 6 stepbrothers, but still she grew up with them. And they were she was always into like the same shit, like Simpsons. She was always into like pop culture stuff, music.
Right.
So she thinks that shit is cool. You know, she was always kind of into that stuff. So
that's why you're together 20 years.
I guess, right?
Me and my wife, we've been together 20 years, and she's into all, like, she digs it. She understands all the stuff. You know what I mean? But I hear a lot of guys like, you know, it's a problem. So that's really dope.
Like, we like grew up together, man. You're talking about from 16 to 17 years old.
It's different.
We've been together since we're 19 and we're 41. So
right, exactly. So that's the difference, because you're the same kids at heart. You know what I'm saying? And you had to bond on something like that. Now, when you meet as adults, I wouldn't know how that is, but I'm sure it's people coming from different walks of life. You know, and it's harder to accept some guy with a bunch of crap. You need a whole room for all your shit. You know?
Yeah. I feel someone like, I mean, I understand that Reno's point on that, but you know, I sometimes look at it on another point. Like if it's someone that, like you said, you with, and even if they're not into it, like, you know, I've been into comics. Like my lady, like she knows I'm into it, but she's not like out like, oh, what's the new stuff?
Right. Yeah, no, neither.
As long as you're
couldn't care less, but
who you are and you holding it down, and you know, she shouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, she likes you for you, and that's just an aspect of you. Now, she doesn't have to like it as well, but she likes the fact that you like something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, that's big. So I don't want to keep you, man, forever, bro. Like you've been awesome, man. It's been great having you and everything. Yeah, man, it was great meeting you. And we're gonna do this trivia thing. If you want to stick around, man, I want to ask the chat some trivia questions, hip hop, comic stuff, and give away some dope prizes.
Man, I'm sticking around, man.
All right, brother. Let's.
I gotta see this hip hop trivia. Am I allowed to participate or no?
Do you want to answer question or you have questions?
I would answer.
All right, absolutely.
We got a question for you. We'll save it for the end.
All right.
And if you can answer it, then we got you.
All right. All right. So is the chat ready? Everybody ready in chat? We're gonna read. All right. So we're gonna answer. We're gonna read these questions. Now the first person to answer will win the prize. Let me show you the prize real quick. Here we go.
I don't want to steal anyone's prize though, but
nope. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you them as we do the questions. All right. So here we go. First question. Can you name what hip hop album these comics are covering. You see, they're remakes of hip hop albums. What album was this? What album was this?
Oh, that's Run the Jewels.
Yep. Yeah, that's Run the Jewels. Yeah. No, that's Diggable Planets. I think. Or is it?
I don't know the first one though.
Nah, you got
No, that's Run the Jewels. Yeah. That one. That's the Clips right there.
Somebody got them both. All right, hold up.
Yeah. Cook's got it.
Cook's got it.
Yeah, that Lord Willing looks familiar, but
that other one, I don't know what that other one is. Yeah, that other one, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the Clips, and that's Diggable Planets.
Oh wow!
I said that. Yeah, I said that. All right. So yeah,
man. Salute the Cooks, man. These will be, we'll get together, man. I get your address, and they on the way. Congratulations.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right. So next question: what Marvel character did Method Man say he wants to play in the MCU?
Oh, easy. I'm not gonna say. I'll wait till the chat.
Oh, I know.
Let's see if the chat can answer.
Did I give a hint?
You can give a hint to the chat. Yeah.
He's a mutant.
Slick Nick with the win. Bishop. So
Bishop.
This is Bishop.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah, he said he wants to play Bishop. Yeah.
He wants to play Bishop. He's lobbying, and I swear to God, I hope he gets it, man. That would be ill. That would be.
He's a dope actor, though, for real.
Yeah.
He is pretty. Yeah, he is pretty.
He Bishop.
They'd be foolish, man, not to hire him for that, man. But Slick Nick, man, and here's the thing: whether Method Man gets that role or not, we know that the MCU is bringing the mutants. We know it's coming.
That's a fact.
They're definitely big on doing heroes and characters of color. So Bishop is a real good possibility. And like I've always told you guys, man, look, if you can figure out what characters are going to be in these movies and shows before they announce it, and you buy the first appearances and stuff like that, those skyrocket in value.
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to go buy Bishop.
Yeah, man.
Bishop is already higher than it's ever been. But
the first appearance.
Reno it's still going to go up, man, until the movie comes out.
Yeah.
It's still above,
Yeah,
because Reno is
not announced this yet. So
I had that one back in the days too.
Yeah, everyone had that one too. That one had a big print run, but it's still going for good money in a high grade.
Yeah, Reno is a good testament to that.
We'll on IG. I'll get your address. You won that, brother. Congratulations.
Damn, that's a dope giveaway, man.
All right, now, thank you. Let me see what it was next. Okay. Who is the first hip hop group? How should I ask this? All right. They're the first hip hop group to get a Grammy nomination.
No, I think I know who it is.
Can I answer?
Nah, man, that's not fair.
I know. The DJ for 13 years.
Answer the question.
It was already foreshadowed earlier in the chat, right?
To get a Grammy nomination. Not a Grammy, a nomination. I'll give you another question that's the same answer. The first rap act to have a video on MTV.
Do I have the right one?
You might not. We don't know. Let's see, because it's an easy one, but it's a hard one.
All right, chat.
All right.
I'm gonna shoot my shot. No,
Tiger's on a roll. Slick Nick is on a roll.
Yeah.
Run DMC.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I was gonna say Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, man.
Good guess. So
that was Run DMC.
And that's
Run.
Yeah.
Will Smith might have been the first one to win it then.
Slick Nick, we sending you the Run.
I think they were the first one.
Nice.
Yeah. That is nice.
Run Pop. So this
Slick Nick, you getting redeemed from Saturday's battle.
This is the redemption of Slick Nick.
Gem Mint, we have a FBT battle between tribe members, like how the verses do. So that's what I was telling Slick Nick because he had lost. So
okay,
he's getting redeemed right now.
Word.
That's funny, man.
Slick Nick. All right, man. So one more question. Let me see.
And then we got the bonus question for Gem Mint Collectibles.
We got the bonus question.
Yeah, bonus question for Gem Mint Collectibles.
all right.
Oh no, we got 2 more questions. Okay, the best-selling comic book of all time. This could be the best-selling comic book of all time. Anybody can answer.
Anybody?
Anybody.
I got the answer, but I don't want the prize.
yeah.
Superman 75.
Say it again.
Superman 75.
Nah.
No.
That's the one with right? What's his name? Killed him, right? Doomsday.
Yeah,
Doomsday.
that's Superman.
It's up there. It's up there.
Something. Right? Damn.
I think it had like 5 covers. No.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I'm talking about did too. Had a lot of covers.
Channel
Who said that? Channel. Channel 187. Very good.
X-Men number 1.
Yeah.
We will accept that. It's X-Men number 1, volume 2. But yeah, we will definitely accept that. And we got the
I thought it was Sonic the Hedgehog.
We got the Wolverine Marvel Legends.
Oh, nice.
That's the Dawn of X. The new Wolverine got the gray beard, looking rugged.
Yeah, I got Channel's address. It's
okay, good.
It's he lives in Georgia.
Okay.
I thought you were about to drop his full address.
Give him my address. I was gonna give him my address.
So, all right, yeah, man. Congratulations, channel, man. That was dope. All right, last question. And this is easy.
Spadeonomics Comics. That's Channel 1.
Oh, that's Spade. Okay, Spadeonomics was good, man. So we know we'll talk, man. So yeah, man, Cooks and Spades cleaning it up. All right, so last question before the ultimate question, I guess that Stu got. What comic book character does Inspector Deck compare himself to on the 36 Chambers album? Whoever answers first.
Spider-Man.
This is the easy one now. Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
For you, man.
He said anyone. He said anyone.
I did say that, man. You good. You got it, man. This is the Obama Spider-Man cover.
Oh, shoot. No
yeah,
doubt.
man. On the way. So we're gonna ship that on the way.
Come with his birth certificate?
Tiger already got it.
I hope so. If you worth more than let's put it on the back. It's on the back of the it's on the back. On the back. Bonus question. Bonus question.
Man, bonus question time for
Gem Mint. Gem Mint, can you name all of the Watchmen?
Oh man, how many are there? You got the Comedian, Dr. Manhattan.
Okay.
Rorschach.
Okay.
The owl. Night Owl. What's his name?
Night Owl.
Night Owl.
Night Owl. Night Owl.
Hold on. Damn, I forget the female's name, man. Hold on.
I'm not gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. She goes by 2 different names. She goes by 2 names, but
there's like the Golden Age versions and then like the modern versions too, right?
Right. I give you a hint. The Golden Age version was her mother.
Yeah. I can't think of her name for shit, yo.
Okay.
Was there more than 5?
Silk Spectre.
Silks, I would have never guessed it.
It was 6 of them. Yeah, it was 6 of them. But she goes by Sally Jupiter.
Oh, that's only 5. So there's one more, isn't it? Like, see, I'm getting confused with the boys now, thinking like Black Noir, but I don't.
Well, it was 5. It was 5 guys and 1 girl. It was 5 guys on the. Not the Golden Age ones. The ones that came after.
Not the Minutemen. But there's one more guy I think I didn't get.
That is.
Wait, Stu, did he answer them all? Did he answer them all so far?
Nah, that's all of them. Yeah, Asmodean, Night Owl.
That's who I didn't.
Comedian.
Ozymandias or whatever.
Asmodean, yeah, Asmodean. Yeah.
Asmodean. You didn't get Osmandius?
No, he didn't get Asmodean. No, he didn't get Asmodean. He didn't get Asmodean.
But
he got everybody else. Hey, listen, I don't even know how to say that. Osmanians or Osmanians. I don't even know how to say that.
He told me before the show I couldn't name him either.
80%.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah, he did. No, he did pretty good. No, he did
he
pretty good.
got it.
He got a good 90%. Yeah, he got a good
man,
90%.
Stu, I don't. So what did he win, Stu? Because I don't. Who do you give the man that has everything? what could I give him? That's
I know.
worth, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Nah, you gave me your time, man. That's all that matters.
Word. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I just
we appreciate you.
Subscribe too.
There you go, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody, man.
I hear that you have the most
subscribe.
consistent DJ podcast.
He does. Hey, listen, look, go on this. Listen. Call me a liar. Call me a liar if you want, but go in there and I guarantee you're gonna say, well, Stu was right.
What's the channel?
He is the most Full Blast Radio.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
And it's on Twitch right now. So it's on YouTube also, but Tiger, I don't want to try to explain it, but why did YouTube make you go to Twitch, or they gave you that 3-month banishment?
Because they gave me a strike on my channel.
Damn.
But that was for what? Because we were trying to figure it out. Like, was it copywritten music, or was it like
no
songs?
No, it wasn't a music. It was because I streamed one of the verses that you can still see on multiple channels on YouTube, but for some reason I got the strike.
They picked on you.
And they don't even stream anymore. It was Apple. Apple actually did it, but Apple doesn't even stream them anymore. But it is what it is, man. We worked around it. We on Twitch now, and the subscribers are still growing. I just hit 42 today. So
nice.
Thanks.
Congrats. Yeah,
so I'll be back May 3rd. That's a Monday. So we'll be back live May 3rd. And but Twitch, you already know Twitch is the movement. You know?
Yeah, I gotta get on there, man. I want to do some gaming stream on Twitch, man.
It would be dope for you, for real.
Because I want to get on there. I'm heavy on the fighting games.
Fighting games?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm heavy on that. I'm heavy on the retro games. I'm not onto that like PC gaming stuff, but I'm into like the fighters, the retro shit. So
right. Yeah, that'll be dope because people love to see
I'm big on the fighters myself, man.
Stuff.
You can invite me on one day. We can
get it in.
Go at it for a little bit. Yes, we can. Just make sure you don't want to break your controller live on stream.
Hey, I'm not the best. So, like most things, I'm better than average people. But once we get into people that are really good, then it's like, oh shit, I'll get my ass whooped.
It's just repetition, man. Once you get good, you're good. I don't care.
Yeah.
Once you get good, you're good. I've played some guys that are real cheesy, man. Like you'd be like, really, we gonna do this today? Like,
right.
And I play some guys that are legitimately good.
Now, see, I don't cheese. I win with style and class. That's how
I can respect that. Yeah, I can respect that. I can respect that. Yeah, I can respect that because if you ever played Marvel versus Capcom, when they put the dog in there, what was his name?
Exactly. That was on 3. I was never good at those. I'm great at Mortal Kombat. I'm really good at Street Fighter, but Marvel vs. Capcom was just everyone's flying around the screen, shooting a million lasers everywhere. It's like I can't even keep up.
More like Street Fighter than like Injustice is like Mortal Kombat. That was Street Fighter.
Exactly.
Those same people make it. Ed Boon and them makes that. They make Mortal Kombat.
One time Ed Boon tweeted one of my statue reviews. I reviewed a reptile from Mortal Kombat. That shit made my day because I used to read Game Pro interviews of Ed Boon. Like Ed Boon is like a celebrity to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
He tweeted that shit out. I was like, damn, I made it.
Yeah, you said Game Pro. When you said Game Pro,
Game Pro.
You talk about me, man. You showing your age,
when I was a kid, it was Game Pro, The Source, and XXL magazine, like religiously.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So the politics took over.
Maximum.
Yeah, until everything started going digital. Game Pro went the way. And don't forget Nintendo Power. I used to read that on a regular too.
So I always miss Nintendo Power, but I have gone back because they have some great posters in those, man. I made like this dope frame with the old school Mortal Kombat poster and a Street Fighter poster.
Nice.
Yeah,
they were always great. And they cut Nintendo Power, I think like in the early 2000s, probably like 07, 06, something like that. They cut it and it was just everybody was disappointed and it's all on the Switch now.
It seems like XXL stays relevant because they always have like this new class, hip hop class or whatever, right? The freshman class.
They're posting stuff all the time. Yeah.
And you know what's funny though is like people always shit on their list, but if you look back, they always end up having people on those lists that end up becoming great. You know, like whether it's J. Cole or it's whoever.
I don't know, but Yeah.
So they have a lot of people on there. It always looks whack. Rap. And then as time goes on, sometimes some of them get proved right and some of them get proved wrong. Like they had Nipsey on it. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of people that became legends.
That's true. That's true.
It's true. That is true. So if you had to name your legends, your top 5 legends, rapper-wise, who would it be?
In no order. No particular order.
Yeah, no particular order, like better or worse, but just...
You mean you got like the best of all time or his favorite person?
No, just his personal favorite. Yeah,
that's the same for me. Like if I look at legends in hip hop, you got to go Biggie, Tupac. You got to go Jay, Nas, and then for me, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I know it don't match everyone's top 5, but for my personal,
whatever your personal is, your personal is your personal. Like because you got your go to, and you say I like this. Like I love KRS-One. To me, I think that's the best rapper I ever heard. I can't, I've never heard of rapper better than
my favorite is Ghostface, Ghost Ray, AZ, Nas, and Cool G Rap.
Yeah, and I would sound stupid to be like, "Yo, why do you got those in your top 5? You got to have KRS-One and Kane.
Right.
Grow up listening to them.
Right.
You know they're dope, but you're not
attached
to you.
At the end of the day, a lot of it is who you grew up listerning to, right? Because that's your era.
Exactly.
Right. That's true.
That's true. Takashi, whatever, and then we had to cut your camera off.
I don't think nobody. I'm not even gonna comment on that. I'm not even gonna comment. I will listen to the Black Album all day
before listening to that.
Listen to that. Yeah, before I listen to that. Yeah, I definitely am down with that.
Yo, this was fun, man. I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yeah, Gem Mint. Everyone follow Gem Mint Collectibles.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Like and subscribe.
That's the channel right there, streaming across the bottom of the screen. Everybody sub, man. Gem Mint is what time it is for real.
If you guys are into this comic shit, I do a new comic book day reviews every Wednesday. I get them a day before, so when they drop every Wednesday, I have the review on all the new books. I do the statue reviews and just other content that all ties in with this pop culture stuff. So,
well, I'll tell you what. Since you're the guest today,
talk to you about them
since you're the special guest today, we usually do something. We do the same thing. We do something called the Cooks Pick of the Week. And since you read the stuff for this week, what would be your cooks?
Well, I could do last week. This week, I usually get my books either Monday or Tuesday, so I haven't got this week's yet. But talking about last week's, you got to be reading Thor right now, man. Donnie Cates on Thor is the best superhero comic that's out right now, easily.
Okay. Right? Can you give us a number? Can you give us a number?
I think he's only on number 11 or so.
Okay.
It's new.
So Thor number 11.
If you I think the first few issues are expensive already, so you could always pick up the trade paperbacks to get caught up on Thor. You don't really have to have a lot of Thor knowledge. Everyone's seen the movies. You understand who the character is, so you can pick it up and figure it out. So I think that's definitely killing it right now. I've been digging. There's a new Batman series that's out called Batman the Detective. I think it's only a 6-issue series.
It's only 6 issues,
Issue 1 is dope, right?
It's dope, yeah.
There's a couple of good indies. Like if you don't like the superhero stuff, like Geiger is a great issue that they just had one issue come out. That's by Jeff Johns, who recently did like 3 Jokers. Geiger. I
see that in my comic store, but I've never picked it up.
Nah, Geiger is good, man. You should check that one out. Yeah, I think it's because with me, I'm a superhero guy. So a lot of times comic book readers will tell you got to read all the image stuff. You got to read all the indies. And I'm like, that's cool, but I like superhero shit. And Geiger has a superhero vibe to it, but it's an indie kind of thing. It's not like superhero like Invincible or something like that, but it's got like hero type vibes.
Okay, I got to check it out, man. Yeah, I always see it, but I never picked it up.
And it's like he was created out of a nuclear blast, kind of like superhero like that, you know?
Radioactive man type of thing.
Like the Hulk. Yeah, sort of like the Hulk.
Yeah, kind of, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
My man said radioactive, man.
My man Cooks, matter of fact, Cooks just bought he bought a few Radioactive Man comics, man. I didn't even know they had a real comic.
Yeah, the Simpsons has a lot. They've been doing comics consistently for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. And Invincible, what'd you think about Invincible?
This is a new one.
Invincible is like
new Aliens.
Yeah, the Alien issue 2 comes out this week.
Yep.
I just watched all 6 episodes of Invincible in one show.
Invincible is like what would happen in real life if Peter Parker had Superman powers, but like what are the real consequences? Like real damage, real people getting hurt, and it's gonna get crazier. I read the series.
I read the comics.
It gets epic, man. It gets like really big.
Yeah. Like the Omni-Man, like what, like you said, yeah. What would it be like if a super, super strength person crushed someone's head? You know what I mean? Like they get this Robert Kirkman. It's your boy that did Walking Dead.
This is what he did before Walking Dead. And with Omni-Man, you see it right now, his motives. He has some kind of ulterior motives, and when they come to fruition, you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Because in the comics, he comes from a planet where everyone on that planet is so powerful that they could take over a whole other planet by themselves, one person. So they send one guy to every planet to sort of take it over.
Yeah, it's called
he was sent to Earth to take it over, but he, for whatever reason, he hasn't been doing it. But that's that's why he's really there.
He got laid up.
Yeah, he got laid up. He got caught up.
He
got caught up. Well, man,
Well, I don't want to spoil it because if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil if you watch it. But Virtumite, so Vertrum, I think is the planet. It's like Krypton, but it's Vertrum.
Yeah, it's Vertrum. Yeah,
yeah, man. But
he's not a scumbag like Homelander.
Like
Homelander. Yeah, Homelander is just a scumbag.
So Homelander is psychotic. Omni-Man knows what he's doing. He knows what has to be done.
He does.
But he's got compassion, and he learned a lot of compassion from Earth because the Virtumites don't really have the compassion like that, So,
no, right. No, they're not. No,
but it's a good comparison. It's like Homelander in a sense, like a Superman-esque character.
Realistic.
If you watch episode 1, I think it shows he does some bad things, but whatever.
Yeah, at the end, I was like,
at the end, I was the same way.
What was crazy was we were watching it. Like after I finished my set, it was like 1-something in the morning. I said, "Yo, we gotta watch this," because it was like he said he was gonna bring it up. So I'm watching it. I was drinking a little bit, so I fell asleep. Like maybe 30 minutes into it, I woke up with that dude just laying everybody out, and I was like, "Yo!"
You know what's funny? It starts off like a typical DC animated movie, and it even has like a fake Justice League, and you're like, "Man, this is like some bullshit," but it gets crazy.
Yeah,
it does get crazy.
I'm on it every week now.
Yeah. What's your favorite DC animated movie?
You know what? I'm so behind. I haven't watched all of them, man. I haven't watched all of them. I don't think I can even pick one right now. There's a lot of ones I've been disappointed with, like Killing Joke or even Death of Superman. Really, I don't know, that really hit right for me. I'm trying to think of.
It didn't hit right the first time. It didn't hit right the first time, and then they remade it, and
twice,
it still
right?
Right.
You know what I really liked? I guess I liked the Dark Knight Returns, and there was 2 movies at first. It got released as 2, and then it came out as 1 movie, I guess. Frank Miller Batman, that one was dope. Under the Hood was dope. I've been meaning to really binge those with Fee because she hasn't seen any of them. So I'm like, man, we need to watch all the DC animated movies.
Oh, they're great. I love them. I have them all. Crisis on 2 Earths is probably my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite one out of all of them. But I like them all. But that's probably I can watch that 100 times, and it's just as good to me.
I haven't seen that one. It's based off of what? Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yeah. Yes. No. It's based off of that, and sort of like what is it called? They call it. It's another series where the Syndicate. It's based off of the Syndicate.
The Crime Syndicate. I think I did watch that one actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's based off.
Crime Syndicate's got a new ongoing series that's pretty fun so far too, man.
Yeah. I just bought issue 2. Yeah, I got. I think they're up to issue 2.
I'm waiting on my tag and slab. I just got one tag and slab. I'm waiting on it to come in the mail.
that CGC waiting game ain't no joke.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm talking about over a month now.
Dude, I'm about at that. I'm about at a month. Yeah,
it's taking like a couple months now to get stuff back. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Peace, Tam. Tam is leaving. See you later.
All right. So, I'm about to leave myself. I'm actually setting up another show on my channel. Actually,
we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Gem Mint, man, it's been an honor, man. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Subscribe to your YouTube, so I'll check you out. You'll probably see me pop in every now and then. See what's
up. Me as well. Yeah.
Straight up.
And when you need some music to listen to, just listen to Full Blast Radio. That's it. That's it. No other radio station will do. That's all I can do.
Appreciate y'all, man.
This is Reno Noir, Djay Tiger, Stu Dog, the 3 Wise Men signing off. 6 Element of Hip Hop. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. And for all your collectible needs, check out Gem Mint Collectibles.
Yes, sir.